This is where I'm the
go
undisciplined
for
one,
it.
remember? I come out of a sense of an instinct or a feeling or something. This kills curators. They hate to hear this. But hopefully at this stage of my life,
I'm a museum director. You know.
I know. You probably say, oh, but there might be a better one, or we could look.
Yeah.
Today is today. We're going to get this. If we make a decision later that it needs to be edited or jettisoned or upgraded, those are different, more considered. But, as a private collector, if you take that moment of infatuation and deep dive, affection and love, then why bother if you take that away? I guess Mr. Getty is. But you hope that over the decades you've honed your skills, you've tested your eye, you've looked and looked so that you know quality when you see it. You hope you do. And then if you want to take a flyer on something, you make sure that it's just this amount of money.
Yeah.
So that if you are blind that day or drunk or something, that it's, you don't completely bankrupt yourself.
I see passion in your eyes when talking about purchasing, and it's almost a kind of victory having that piece.
It's like meeting a soulmate. I mean, it's really more than just the conquest. Because these things should reward you then every day and get richer and richer. Like you fall in love with a guy or a person, or you make a new friend, and then as they become more known and as you reveal more, then it gets deeper and more complicated and.
The bigamy of art collecting, that's interesting. I never thought about that one.
But,
fall in love with all these art.
You're also here to learn,
Yeah,
Danny.
get to learn, yeah.
But I think these relationships require so much from us, and these art objects require so much from us, and we have to pay attention. I really think it's quite serious, actually, in spite of all my jokes about it.
It is. No, we are serious. I like to look in the audience. This big black hole. But I see there are people. Yes, there are.
Light.
There's light. That's good. So anybody in the audience, please feel free to ask questions, since we are here on the stage, and I will keep the two guests on the stage to give nice answers. So please, who of you could you please say your name and to who of us?
Okay. I'm Dana. My question's for Marguerite.
Hi, Dina.
Hi.
I feel like Oprah. Hi.
I'm curious, since I'm assuming you're from Dallas, if you feel a responsibility or urges to collect artists that are local and in Dallas, even if their works aren't your favorite or not.
No, I don't. While I want to be considerate and I want to continue learning and look, it's the same criteria applies for me across the board. I don't want to do any charity buying. I don't think that's my responsibility, and I mean no disrespect, but there are other collectors that just want to focus on Texas art or regional art, and I say that's great. And then, but if I do buy artists that live in Dallas, but I buy them because I think that they'd add to the collection. They enhance the conversation. I have some up now. So.
Fair enough. Who else is there? Gentleman here.
I'm John. I'd like to know, Danny, how you make the decision on what you buy for keeps and what you sell as a dealer. How is that choice made?
You here tomorrow? That's a very difficult question. As I get older, the really super great works of art I loathe selling. I can't stand selling them. I mean, even if you're offered enormous gain on it, it's difficult to part with these things. I don't know the answer to that question. You collect yourself, and you hardly ever sell anything. But I've had things 35 years which I just cannot part with. But I have changed things around. Things that maybe don't quite fit in, don't quite blend in. Maybe I've bought something that does. I recently bought a beautiful Stubbs painting on a ceramic base made by Josiah Wedgwood in the 18th century of two lions, which I absolutely love, but it doesn't fit into this room of 19th century pictures, romantic pictures that I have. So I might consider selling that if someone came along. But other than that, no, I don't really want, I don't part with many things. I just like to live with them. I hope that's answered your question.
My name is Mickey Carton. Since you've made such a convincing claim to your immortality, Danny, why would you worry about whether you sell things or keep them? If you're going to be here for so long.
Well, I hope you're going to join me for the next 1,000 years, Mickey, in our reckless pursuits of beauty. I take it that's a loaded question because you want to buy something from me. So the answer is we'll start negotiating later.
You just told me last week that I must come because your account has dwindled down now to £500 million and you needed someone to come and fill up your coffers.
Yeah, well, it's difficult managing on that small, derisory amount of money, but I'm sure your £2,000 you're going to give me is going to help. Now, I actually like selling work. If at the end of the summer comes and I haven't done a deal, because I'm a dealer, I'll sell the car, I'll sell the kids, I'll sell anything myself, but no one wants me, just to do a deal. It's not about money. I have that instinct in me of trading, of dealing. I love doing a deal. Even if I've got all the money in the world and everything around me, everything's going fantastic or not, I have to do a deal. It's just in me. That's what makes me tick.
In your eyes now.
Yeah,
That's
it's what makes me tick. And if it's not, I'll probably end up in a market in the southeast of England selling dresses to women for £10 each. I love intermingling with people and connecting with people and selling. I love selling things. Sell anything. Just love it.
This discussion was about collecting. It's the opposite. Or is it
Well, it's like if someone's selling, someone's collecting.
Yeah, that's
so
right,
it's
that's
all.
right.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Please.
What do dealers, really good dealers, what do they think about collectors, really? I mean,
They're our lifeblood.
Yeah.
We love them.
No, as people, or as types.
Oh, I
or-
don't think people gossip about people, talk about people. It's just what we are. We're human beings. I make films. I'm involved in the dance world. We talk about other dancers. We talk about filmmakers. Just people gossip about everybody. Maybe I don't understand why people collect contemporary art the way they do, but that's another. I'm just one lone voice, which I can't understand why. I went to a dinner party the other day and asked someone, a very eminent collector of contemporary art, what is the criteria of a good work of art? They said, honestly, turned around to me and said, well, you've got to get in early because when we bought this one, it was so much, and now it's worth so much more. And I said, well, that's fascinating. That's the criteria of a great work of art, is it? Because you can make money out of it. They said, yeah. And I said, well, that says collecting for this person, doesn't it? But I'm not judgmental about anything. Everybody can do what they want. I think collectors, dealers, they're all people doing their thing.
But Margaret, now you put that question, I'm going to ask you the other question. What do collectors say and think about dealers?
Oh, well, many things.
It's a cliche maybe, but please.
No. I think, I've been really fortunate throughout my life to know a lot of great dealers that have turned me on to certain artists, the way they talk about them, the way they promote them, give them, space to do their work. But I will say that dealers are starting to frighten me a little bit in the contemporary world, and I would tell dealers to really make sure you like yourself in the morning when you get up.
That's a good point.
Because no matter what we
love
do,
myself.
we can do it with integrity, and we can do it in a way where it's a win-win for everyone. And unfortunately, what has happened, I think, in the art world, which is, as we all know and all enjoy, myself included, it's unregulated. There is a lot of money that's flowing around now. I can't imagine the worth of all the things contained under this beautiful tent. But when that starts happening, as we all know, it can get really frightening, and people can change. And I've gotten where I only deal with a few people because I want to make sure that we're talking the same language. And the language needs to be first and foremost about the art and about the intention, and then of course you have to talk money. It's real money. It's expensive to do what we do, and you have to be smart. And as a woman, I feel like, sorry about this, men, but as a woman, I feel like you have to prove yourself to be 10 times tougher, because and then that's a challenge as well, and because that's not my real nature to have to. So I like it when it's a lovely pas de deux, and I like to collect with friends. We have this stupid model in Texas where we actually buy things together sometimes and share them with our museum and with other collectors. It changes the nature of the conversation. It's not a transaction. It's acquisition with purpose and meaning. That's what I'm on tape as being the most naive person in the world. But that's why I think I'm going to keep trying to do it. But just remember to like yourself in the morning.
That's good.
Very good.
That's indeed a good point to conclude. And I think as dealer or collector, and also for you in the audience, we all share this passion for art. And for me as a museum director, it's, I think, good to conclude with the words of Neil McGregor that being responsible for the museum collection, in fact, the museum collection is, at the end, everybody's private collection.
Yes.
So thank you very much for attending this discussion. Have a nice afternoon, and thank you very much, Margaret.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you very much, Danny.